My name is Lena Carter, and 15 years ago, my entire world collapsed in one night. I thought I had the perfect life. A loving husband, a stable home, and a big sister I trusted more than anyone on earth. But betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes it wears the face you grew up loving. It started on a quiet spring evening. The air smelled like rain, and my husband Daniel was supposed to be working late. My sister Emily had dropped by to help me pack for the family trip we'd planned that weekend. She laughed, she hugged me. She even made dinner. Everything felt normal until I noticed her phone buzzing on the counter. A message preview flashed for just a second. A heart emoji and Daniel's name. My stomach twisted. I brushed it off at first, convincing myself it was a joke, a misunderstanding. But deep down, something inside me cracked. Later that night, Daniel came home late. Too late, smelling of her perfume. I confronted him. He didn't deny it. He didn't even flinch. "Lena, I'm sorry," he said, eyes cold and distant. "I didn't mean for it to happen. But I love Emily." I remember the sound of the rain slamming against the windows as I stood there, numb. My sister, my blood, had run away with my husband, and by morning they were both gone. But 2 weeks later, Emily came back. She stood on my porch, drenched and trembling, holding a baby. "His name is Noah," she whispered. He's dying. Please, Lena, take care of him." And before I could even breathe, she turned and disappeared into the storm. I never saw her again, or so I thought. 15 years later, on a calm Sunday afternoon, the doorbell rang. When I opened it, Emily and Daniel were standing there, and they weren't alone. For a moment, I couldn't move. My breath caught somewhere between disbelief and fury. Emily stood on my porch like a ghost from another lifetime. Her hair was streaked with gray, her eyes hollow. Daniel hovered behind her, looking older, but not a bit sorry. "Lena," she said softly, her voice trembling. "Please let us in." The sight of them made my chest burn. 15 years of silence. Not a letter, not a call, not even a birthday card for Noah. And now, they stood here as if they belonged. "Why are you here?" I demanded. My voice shook, but I didn't step aside. Emily's eyes darted past me, toward the hallway, toward the sound of Noah's laughter from his room. "I need to see him," she whispered. "You lost that right," I snapped. "You left him to die, Emily. You left me to raise your son." She winced, her hands trembling. "I didn't have a choice," she said. "You had every choice," I spat. "You ran away with my husband." Daniel stepped forward then, his tone sharp, defensive. "We made mistakes, Lena, but we're here now because we need to fix things." I laughed bitterly. "Fix things? You think you can just walk back into our lives after 15 years? Emily's tears spilled over. "You don't understand," she said, voice breaking. "Noah, he's not my son." The world tilted. "What did you just say?" Her lips quivered. "Lena, please. Let me explain. For years, I'd believed I'd been raising her dying child, pouring every ounce of love, money, and hope into that boy. My boy. But now, in that doorway, everything I thought I knew about my life started to unravel. My knees nearly gave out as her words echoed in my head. "He's not your son?" I repeated, my voice barely a whisper. "What are you talking about, Emily?" She looked down, unable to meet my eyes. "Lena, 15 years ago I was pregnant, but not with Daniel's child." The air went still. Daniel stiffened, his jaw tightening, but he didn't say a word. "You lied," I said, my voice trembling with anger. "You told me that boy was yours. You said he was dying, that you couldn't afford treatment. You begged me to take him." Emily shook her head slowly. "I didn't lie about him being sick. He was dying, Lena, but I wasn't his mother." "Then whose child is he?" I demanded. She hesitated, glancing at Daniel. His face had gone pale. "Tell her," he muttered, his voice flat. Emily's shoulders shook as she whispered, "He's yours, Lena." My mind went blank. "No," I said, backing away. "That's impossible. I would know if I had a son." "You didn't, because we made sure you wouldn't," Daniel said quietly. "You were in the hospital after the miscarriage, but remember, you passed out before they told you the baby didn't survive." My stomach twisted violently. "You mean you never lost him?" Emily cried. Your son didn't die. I took him. I had to. I shouted, tears spilling down my face. You stole my baby. Lena, I was desperate, she sobbed. I was told I couldn't have children. Daniel and we thought we could give him a better life. But then he got sick, and we didn't have the money. You were the only one who could save him. My whole body shook. You took everything from me. My husband, my child, my family. And now you want forgiveness? No, she whispered. I just want him to know the truth before it's too late. My heart froze. What do you mean, too late? Emily's next words shattered me. Lena, Noah's sick again. The world seemed to tilt around me. Noah's sick again? I whispered, my throat tight. What's wrong with him this time? Emily's hands trembled as she reached into her bag and pulled out a folded piece of paper, a medical report. It's his heart, Lena. The same condition he had as a baby. The doctors say he needs surgery and it's risky. They said only a biological parent can be a match. I felt the paper shake in my hand as I stared at his name on the top. Noah Carter, my son. Why come now? I asked, my voice breaking. After all these years? After everything you did? Emily's voice cracked. Because he's dying, Lena. And I can't lose him. You can't lose him. Please help him. You're his only hope. I sank into the couch, the letter falling from my fingers. All the anger, the betrayal, the pain. It all collided with something deeper. Love. The kind that never fades, even after being buried under years of lies. I looked up at her, tears streaming down my face. You had 15 years to tell me the truth. I know, she whispered. I was a coward. I thought I could live with it, but every time I looked at him, I saw you. Daniel finally spoke, his voice hollow. I'm sorry, Lena. I was angry, stupid. I didn't know how to undo what we'd done. I stood, shaking. You can't undo it. You stole my life, my child, and now you want me to save him? Emily dropped to her knees, sobbing. Please, Lena, do it for him, not for us. He doesn't know the truth. He thinks I'm his mother. Let him live believing that, if you must. Just don't let him die. My heart ached. I wanted to scream, to hate her, to turn away. But all I could see was Noah's face, the boy I'd raised, loved, and called my nephew for 15 years. Where is he? I asked quietly. Emily looked up, her eyes full of disbelief. You'll help him? I nodded slowly, tears still falling. He's my son. I may have lost 15 years, but I'm not losing him now. A week later, I stood in the hospital hallway outside Noah's room. Machines beeped softly inside. When I entered, he looked up with a weak smile. Aunt Lena, he whispered. You came. I smiled back, trying not to cry. I'll always come, Noah. He didn't know the truth. Not yet. Maybe he didn't have to. All that mattered was giving him a future. As I signed the consent forms for the surgery, Emily placed a trembling hand on my arm. Thank you, she said. I met her gaze, my voice calm but cold. I'm not doing this for you. And when the doors to the operating room closed, I whispered a silent promise. Not to Emily, not to Daniel, but to the little boy who'd always been mine. I lost you once, Noah, I said softly, but I'll never lose you again. The surgery took 6 hours. 6 hours of pacing hospital corridors, clutching a cup of cold coffee I never drank. Every minute felt like a lifetime. When the doctor finally came out, I froze. His tired eyes met mine, then softened. He made it, he said. The surgery was a success. Your son's going to be okay. Your son. The words hit like sunlight after years of rain. I wanted to cry, laugh, collapse, all at once. Emily sobbed beside me, covering her face. I just stood there, numb with relief. A few days later, Noah was awake, pale, but smiling. I sat by his bedside, watching him play with the IV line, his curious brown eyes exactly like mine. Aunt Lena, he said softly, Mom told me you're the reason I'm alive, that you helped her when she was scared. I blinked back tears. You've always been my reason, Noah. He smiled, confused but touched. Mom said you love me like your own. My voice trembled. More than you'll ever know. Weeks passed. Noah healed faster than anyone expected. Emily kept her distance, maybe out of guilt, maybe out of fear. I didn't push. Then one evening, she came to my apartment. "He deserves the truth," she said, her voice hollow. "He's old enough now." My chest tightened. "Are you sure?" She nodded. "I can't keep lying. It's time." We told him together. I'll never forget his face. The confusion, the disbelief, the hurt. "You mean, you're my real mom?" he asked, his voice trembling. I reached for his hand. "Yes, Noah, I never stopped loving you. They took that choice from me, but I never stopped being your mother." Tears rolled down his cheeks. "All those years. Why didn't you tell me?" I swallowed hard. "Because I wanted you to have peace. I thought knowing might hurt you more, but now I don't want to hide anymore." He was quiet for a long time. Then slowly he leaned forward and hugged me. Tight. "I don't care what happened," he whispered. "You're my mom. You always were." I broke down in his arms. 15 years of silence, pain, and longing, all melting away in one moment. Months later, Noah started calling me Mom for the first time. It still caught me off guard every time. Emily moved away quietly, leaving behind a note. "I can't undo what I did, but maybe now you both can finally heal." As for me, I stopped looking back. The past was painful, yes, but it brought me my son back. And when Noah graduated high school years later, I sat in the front row, clapping through tears as he took the stage. He looked down at me, smiling, and said into the mic, "This is for my mom, the woman who never gave up on me." That moment, that single sentence, was worth every scar. Family isn't about blood. It's about the love that survives everything.